Thousands march to end violence against women. Usino Bundi district begins process to access EMTV signal. And gaming board launches corporate plan.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Saturday's news. About 2,000 participants marched to mark the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women on Wednesday morning. Oil Search Foundation, in partnership with Bell ECP&G, organized this event, which attracted the largest number of participants. NCD Governor Poes Pakop led the walkers through the city with the chant, "Strong Plaman, Respecting Mary."
This year's Bellisi Walk attracted the largest number of participants ever, with corporate partners and leaders, the public sector, the Brisbane Broncos, IRC, the Orchids, and NCDC residents who walked for an important cause. The event's aim was to raise awareness about the need to address family and sexual violence.
To work together to improve the situation for those who are survivors of violence and to help prevent family and sexual violence, violence against women.
According to Oil Search Foundation and Bell ECP&G, studies show that 3 out of 4 women in PNG will experience violence in their lifetime. The large number of people participating shows the community's commitment to changing attitudes towards women and girls.
The change starts with you. When you make a choice, make a decision to change, to end violence in yourself, in your family, in your clan and tribe, in your community, in the villages, in the settlements and suburbs, that's when the change manifests itself.
Managing Director of Oil Search Peter Botten is a strong supporter of the Bellisi initiative. He said his company has a domestic violence procedure designed to assist their staff.
Significant role in education, educating the workforce, setting the standards and the examples of how people should be treated in the company and extrapolate that into home life. And
according to Oil Search Foundation and Bell ECP&G, one company surveyed lost an estimated 3 million kina in 1 year due to the impact of family and sexual violence, and 68% of employees surveyed had experienced family violence.
Excited that there are so many different organisations now who've risen up to say enough is enough. Papua New Guineans are saying we don't want this for our women, we don't want this for our girls, we don't want this for our families, we don't want this for our communities, we do not want this for our nation.
Lilian Sopera Kenea, National, EMTV News.
11 policemen involved in the Parliament House saga last Tuesday were arrested this morning. The arrest was done by the police task force team for being in possession of items stolen from the National Parliament, including water dispensers. The items were recovered this morning by the PPTF at the Kila Kila barracks. Other items were also recovered at the homes of policemen based at the Badili police station. NCD Metropolitan Chief Superintendent Pero Drano said the PPTF received critical information last night and urgently secured the search warrant. The policemen have been charged and are now locked up at the Baroko police station with denial for bail. The investigation is ongoing with more arrests expected to be made. Mr. Drano said all information gathered will be handed over to the investigation team established by the Police Commissioner for further charges. The National Gaming Control Board launched its 2018 to 2022 corporate plan last night in Port Moresby. The plan aims to set guidelines and embark on a strategic direction to meet the government's development plan.
The 2018 to 2022 corporate plan launched was by far the best compared to the first one in 2012. The plan is subdivided into 2 parts. Part A and Part B. Part A covers strategic functions and organizational settings. It provides an overview and assessment of NGCB's internal and external challenges, threats, opportunities, and strengths. Part B outlines a major detailed perspective of NGCB's plan, which will be implemented over the next 5 years. NGCB Chief Executive Officer Imelda Argon says despite many challenges faced over the years, her team remains steadfast in delivering NGCB's mandated responsibilities.
The corporate plan for 2018 to 2022 now paves way for yet another milestone for our organization and the industry as a whole for the next 5 years, superseding the board's first ever corporate plan that we put in place under my leadership in 2012.
The core strategies focus on 7 economic pillars, which are 1. Human capital development, gender, youth, and people environment. 2. Wealth creation, natural resources, and growth nodes. 3. Institutional development and services delivery. 4. Security and international relations. 5. Environmental sustainability and climate change. 6. Spiritual, cultural, and community development. And 7. Strategic planning, integration, and control.
Our core strategies captured in our corporate plan aligned with Papua New Guinea's Vision 2050 and the medium-term development goals.
The National Gaming Control Board is looking into partnering with Tourism Promotion Authority to progress gaming tourism exclusively to create economic opportunities.
We believe that the gaming industry has been growing rapidly and will continue to evolve over a period of time, whether we like it or not. And it is here to stay because we also have seen many of our people go overseas to gamble.
The focus of NGCB is to regulate and minimize growth in the industry by encouraging foreign investment and increased level of international partnership across the local gaming sector. Minister for Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Rimbing Pato, who was there on behalf of the Prime Minister, stressed on wise gambling. Pato says gamblers have to gamble wisely.
Social responsibility, community responsibility, and sustainable business on behalf of the government, making it profitable, but at the same time ensuring that our people understand that they must gamble responsibly.
Michelle Stephen, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll be back after these short messages.
Whatever our words may be, sing out strong as far as you can see. Whatever language people are taught, come on, everyone join in. An exciting adventure is about to begin. 'Cause there's one thing we all know, when it's time to get up and go. Sharing stories make the call, our favorite biscuit, the best of all. M now, BFG, M now, BFG, M now, BFG.
Mining na petroleum is kulim ol tisa na building classroom long ol sumatin. Mipla iputin planting money inside long ol health center na all health programs. Mipla i-building road na bridge long bring him service long all people. Na Mipla ihalib him long rouse him all kind sick. Na give him clean water long drink long all PNG man Mary by staff healthy.
Mining na petroleum kamapim good pla behind time long Papua New Guinea.
This platok ikam long PNG Chamber of Mines na petroleum.
They continue to invade our homes, disrupt our livelihoods and threaten our health. But we can stop this cycle of destruction. Reach for Mortein's fast knockdown multi-insect killer. Our trusted technology knocks down and kills flying and crawling insects fast. Trusted technology that kills fast. And at night, you can rely on Mortein coils to repel mosquitoes and protect your family. Choose Mortein for trusted family protection.
More smart, more safe, Mortein.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
At Brian Bell Home Centers, we know that good sports always win. Whether you're kicking the goal for your team or reaching for great heights, pushing a little harder to go that extra mile to achieve your personal best. So when you're ready to unleash the champion within, go to Brian Bell Home Centers. We have everything you need to make your sports activities a winning experience.
Introducing Musin Fresh Noodles. Raspberry.
Pineapple.
Calamansi. Orange.
Lemon.
Lime. Mango and cola.
Musin Fresh Noodles. Proudly manufactured and distributed by BTC Industries.
The FIBA Under-15 Oceanic Championship is here in Port Moresby. Come, let's support our very own Team PNG as they face neighbouring rivals Australia, New Zealand, Guam, Tonga, Fiji and Samoa. The championships will be held from the 4th to the 8th of December at the Taurama Aquatic Centre. To purchase your tickets, go to the link. Matches will be streamed live on EMTV Online.
Welcome back to the news. Turning overseas, the British Security Service MI5 admits it missed opportunities to stop the suicide bomber who murdered 22 people in the Manchester Arena attack last year. The admissions came in a damning report which found lessons haven't been learnt from previous terror attacks.
Manchester Arena attack. Shocking, not least because it targeted children. Perhaps even more so, now that we know possible chances to prevent it were missed. Despite being on the radar of security services, Salman Abedi was able to build and detonate a homemade bomb that killed 22 people. Now, MPs have found that failings by MI5 and counter-terrorism police meant they missed potential opportunities to stop him. For the survivors, that's hard to hear. Martin Hibbett was left paralysed.
It's more really for my daughter, who was only 14 when she was obviously injured, and to kind of look at her injuries and to know or to think that this could have been prevented or should have been prevented makes me very angry.
The report reveals MI5 decided not to restrict or monitor Salman Abedi's travel, so he was allowed to return from Libya undetected days before the attack. MI5 have admitted that was a mistake. He visited an extremist in prison, but no follow-up action was taken. He was never referred to the PREVENT programme, which tackles violent extremism. And one other serious concern can't be made public because of the highly sensitive security details. The Intelligence and Security Committee looked at the 5 terrorist attacks of 2017, which killed 36 people. It's highlighted a litany of errors in the Parsons Green bomb case, but said it couldn't examine that fully because the Home Office hadn't provided enough evidence. The Home Secretary insists the government, police and MI5 are doing everything they can to tackle the evolving threat of terrorism. Today's report says the lessons from last year's tragic events must now result in real action.
The disputed border between Israel and Lebanon is set in stone, or more accurately concrete, as a 9-meter-high wall is built between the two nations. It's an extremely sensitive project, and not just because the two countries are still technically at war.
Israel's northern wall expands by the day. Since February, engineers have laid down more than 10 kilometres of reinforced concrete slabs along the frontier. Israel says it's needed to stop incursions by Hezbollah fighters. But there's no agreed border here, so the construction of a 9-metre-high permanent barrier leads to all kinds of problems. A 10,000-strong UN peacekeeping force keeps the sides apart and tries to ensure arguments about the wall don't escalate.
Since there is no border and there is no dialogue between the two countries, what we're trying to avoid is that the wall doesn't go through reservation areas, sensitive areas.
This is one of the world's most sensitive places, where an argument over the most trivial of matters can end in tragedy. In 2010, 5 people were killed after a dispute that broke out over an overhanging tree branch.
The tree dispute nearly ignited a new war.
There was a really tense moment because we could have risked that hostilities would start again.
The new wall runs within metres of this Lebanese village, which was once occupied by Israeli troops. Some locals here think an impenetrable barrier, even one built unilaterally by Israel, isn't so bad.
Now with the solid wall, it's like a protection for them, and it's almost a protection for us. They can't pass through the border to enter the village and destroy the houses.
Trouble is inevitable as the wall proceeds, including at one key village which the UN says is illegally occupied by Israel. But the engineers aren't slowing down. There's another 120 kilometres of wall to go. Israel wants it finished within 2 years.
Around 200 million enormous termite mounds have been discovered in Brazil, covering an area greater than the United Kingdom. The interconnected structure is so big it can be seen from space.
You could argue this is the greatest civilization on Earth. Yet man has had nothing to do with its creation. In fact, it's only just been discovered due to our destruction of the forest that's hidden these mounds from outsiders for thousands of years. Each one is 2.5 metres high, 9 metres wide, and they're almost exactly 20 metres apart. But it's their sheer number that's astonished scientists. At least 200 million, covering an area greater than the United Kingdom.
This is the largest structure built by animals in the world. Even humans haven't built a city this big. And it's unbelievable in this day and age that something the size of a country can lay undiscovered in the plain light of day, but actually hidden in a forest.
And this is the creature that built them, the leaf-munching termite, Syntermes dirus. It's one of the world's largest termite species, but still only 13 millimetres long, making what they've created all the more incredible. These aren't nests, but spoil heaps left by termites tunnelling under the dry forest. In creating their subterranean city the size of a nation, the tiny termites have shifted soil equivalent to 4,000 Great Pyramids of Giza. In fact, the researchers found some of the mounds are as old as Egypt's great monuments. But there's a lot more to learn about the society that created these.
It's not often the release of a movie teaser gets all the attention, but that's what happened when the trailer for the new Lion King film arrived. People have been running to screens to watch it.
We all know the story, the characters and the songs.
Everything the light touches is our kingdom.
But this time it seems much more real. It's only 90 seconds, but when the teaser trailer for the remake of the 1994 Disney classic dropped today, the internet melted down.
Oh, yes! If this trailer does not start with, Alicia, I'm be upset.
No upset here, just pure joy. The remake won't hit cinemas till next year, but it boasts a star-studded cast.
But a king's time as ruler.
Yes, James Earl Jones is back as the voice of Mufasa, but John Oliver's taken over from Mr. Bean as the voice of Zazu, Beyoncé is Nala, and Donald Glover is Simba.
I think it's amazing, obviously, that, you know, the property is loved enough to kind of warrant that remake.
That's right, even the creators of the original version are excited. It's not the only classic Disney films being reinvented. Remakes of Dumbo and Aladdin will be hitting the big screens again soon too, turning iconic childhood stories into the magical moments once again for a new generation of children.
Remember.
Who could forget?
When we come back, Medang's Usino Bundi district to have access to EMTV. That and more after the break.
You too can now experience the refreshment of pure PNG with True water, sourced from an ancient aquifer, carbon filtered, ultraviolet and ozone treated, and the finest purification with reverse osmosis.
And that means the science lesson is now over. Settle back and refresh yourself with PNG's finest. Reach for a chilled True water. Pure PNG.
Mosin Plaza Garoo Shopping Mall. We bring to you the finest quality brands from Australia, ranging from dairy products, juices and spreads. Come visit us today at Mosin Plaza, Ganavali Avenue, Stage 2, Garoo. Mosin Fresh Mart, store belong you me.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
We can't wait to meet you.
I got this.
Hi guys, this is Peter. I'm going in to help Mom, okay?
Oh boy, these are some pretty big fellas. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
Whoa, that's a tight grip.
Hey.
Seriously?
Hey, is that your car?
Yes, it is.
Sweating on the inside? Handle it on the outside with Speed Stick.
Hey, come with my dad.
Huh? Speed Stick. Don't sweat it, handle it.
Do you want to see your retirement savings grow faster? Increase your member contributions from as low as 6% to as high as 100% and watch your savings grow. Increasing your membership contribution will increase your housing eligibility, earn higher interest annually and retire with a good-looking balance account. Contact your NASFund team and start kicking goals for retirement.
Hollywood Express. Red Carpet.
This script was written in 2001.
Newsflash. Whoa! New releases.
I may not be equipped to be loved this much.
Inside Look.
Every time we do this, I feel so high tone.
Weekend box office and top 10 countdown.
Oh, I read.
Hollywood Express. Sunday, 9 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, EMTV.
Welcome back to the news. Member for Usino Bundi today presented a cheque of 100,000 kina to the management of EMTV to set up a tower to broadcast news to the people of his electorate. The member, Jimmy Uguro, upon handing the cheque, said EMTV is free to watch, hence his district can watch EMTV and be up to date with events happening in PNG and around the world.
I'm now proud to present 100,000 as a mobilization cost fee. And it's also part of as installment. We will, as the technicians work there, we will maybe a few weeks or so, we should pay under 120,000 to complete.
The check presented is part of the 227,700 kina that is yet to be paid by the member for Usino Bundi to EMTV. This money will be used by EMTV to buy equipment to set up so EMTV can be transmitted to the local people. Once setting up is done, the people of Usino Bundi can buy an antenna and television and watch EMTV's free-to-air programs. Uguro says Usino Bundi has 3 local level governments, Usino, Bundi and Gama. Uguro says the local people have to know what's happening in terms of development.
For EMTV to come in, it's tapping at the right time because all that the developments that are coming must be broadcast, and our people in the remote past must see how the leaders working, how the members working, how the services are delivered by the government to the people.
EMTV Acting Chief Executive Officer Sheena Hughes says EMTV is committed to broadcasting news to people right around Papua New Guinea. The acting CEO thanked the MP for taking the first step towards getting television to the district.
EMTV is committed with its 2019 strategy to ensure that television or at least news nationwide is delivered to people right across PNG, and this is the sort of first initiative, hopefully the first of many, and we look forward very much to getting our signal and our coverage to your district, and for your people to be in tune with what's happening nationwide.
Once the check is processed, engineers from EMTV will travel to Usino Bundi to survey the area in order to set up. Michelle Stephen, National EMTV News.
Port Moresby National High School has launched a project initiated by the Students' Representative Council. The project, aimed at assisting students have access to information, was launched at their 23rd graduation on Thursday.
Thank you.
The 23rd graduation ceremony of Port Moresby National High School not only saw 278 grade 12 students graduating, but also the launching of a project initiated by the 2017 to 2018 School Representative Council. The Remote Access Community Hub and Education Learner or Rachel device and a scanner for converting hard copy documents to PDF files.
For the Rachel, it came from Silicon Valley, California. It was imported by the SRC. It cost around $10,000 to bring it over. And basically, the device itself, it contains a Wi-Fi, which is offline. The Wi-Fi, the students cannot access social media or other sites that are restricted, but only access to millions of resources that are for study and research.
The total cost of the project was about 13,000 kina, which the SRC managed to raise despite many challenges.
And that 13,000 kina, it came from the 40,000 kina that was raised from the cultural show event. 2018 Cultural Show Hayanamo event of the school.
With the installation of these devices, students will now have improved access to learning resources online. There are also security and control measures in place to monitor the online activities of the students.
Many people will think that it is too distracting to use mobile phone and laptops in the school, but security measures and control measures are in place, and the students, it's up to the students how they will use the resources, but we believe it will be efficient for learning.
This SRC also made history in Port Moresby National High School by being the sponsor of the 2018 DAX Awards. Michelle Awamoromoro, National EMTV News.
Book Bilong Pikinini officially launched their latest picture book in Vanimo earlier this week, titled I Am Noah. The story recounts how Noah lost his hearing as a child, but was able to get an education with the strong support of his grandfather and friends at school. While Noah may be hearing impaired, the focus of the story is on his abilities and what he enjoys doing. The book will be donated to schools across Papua New Guinea to get discussions around inclusiveness into classrooms. Children enrolled in Book Bilong Pikinini's literacy program are doing a 20-day celebration of Universal Children's Day to promote children's rights, international togetherness, awareness among children worldwide, and improving children's welfare. A player of the most favoured sport in PNG says his team is against domestic violence following the awareness walk organised by Oil Search Foundation with Belize PNG. Bronco star Corey Parker addressed the participants. Rosemary Ambune reports.
Bronco star Corey Parker gave his speech after the walk from Sir Hubert Murray Stadium to Ella Beach earlier this week. Mr. Parker left a strong message urging Papua New Guineans to make a change by ending domestic violence.
Stand for as a club, nor should you people out there and women and children walk around the streets to know that they too could be a victim of domestic violence.
Mr. Parker is one of the 46 ambassadors appointed by NRL in 2017 to support community initiatives aimed at improving lives and educating families on positive well-being throughout Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific.
But a real strong message for the men out there: we do not, I repeat, we do not respect men who don't respect their women, children, wives, girlfriends, mothers, aunties in the community.
Rosemary Ambune, National EMTV News.
You're at National EMTV News. Up next, some sporting updates and Chukai Sports. Don't go away.
Gold Nuggets cheese, chicken, and cheese and onion all just got bigger. A lot bigger. 40% bigger. Look for the new Big Plus 35-gram packs. Bigger packs, better value at the same low price. That's right. 40% more Gold Nuggets in every pack for you to enjoy. Gold Nuggets, yeah, that's right.
The mining and petroleum industry trains teachers and builds classrooms. We invest millions of kina to run medical centers and health programs. We build roads and bridges to connect communities to essential services. And we help fight tropical diseases and supply clean drinking water to keep PNG healthy.
Mining and petroleum, growing PNG's future.
Brought to you by the PNG Chamber of Mines and Petroleum.
Come on, just push it. Come on, just push it. Come on, push it. Push it. Just push it. Just push it. Come on, just push it.
Mosin Plaza Garou Shopping Mall. We bring to you the finest quality brands from Australia, ranging from dairy products, juices and spreads. Come visit us today at Mosin Plaza Ganavali Avenue, Stage 2, Garou. Mosin Fresh Mart, store belong you me.
They continue to invade our homes, disrupt our livelihoods and threaten our health. But we can stop this cycle of destruction. Reach for Mortein's fast knockdown multi-insect killer. Our trusted technology knocks down and kills flying and crawling insects fast. Trusted technology that kills fast. And at night, you can rely on Mortein coils to repel mosquitoes and protect your family. Choose Mortein for trusted family protection.
More smart, more safe, Mortein.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. The Supporters Club of Rugby Union, or Scrum, based in Morobe, held its 2018 evaluation program yesterday. After 25 years of serving young athletes, this year Scrum organisation has provided great rugby opportunities for many young people. Scrum Development Manager Robin Tarera acknowledged the interest that young females have towards the sport following the introduction to schoolgirls.
The Supporters Club of Rugby Union in Morobe held its end-of-year evaluation yesterday. The meeting was chaired by Momasa Regional Sports Coordinator Philip Lovato with representatives from schools and sporting organizations. During the review, Scrum Development Manager Robin Tarere commended a successful 2018 and acknowledged the recommencement of girls' rugby competitions.
But girls' rugby is very promising in Morobe, and talent is there. The skill level we still need to work on and harness the girls and support them well so that they can continue playing the game.
The females rugby competition started 4 years ago, but not much support was given to them. This year, the Scrum organization reintroduced the program in Morobe as an awareness to support female interest in rugby. Mr. Tarera said educating young athletes in playing rugby is very important. He said to improve the way we coach and teach young athletes.
Biggest problem is coaching. We need more coaches, teachers. We need PNG Rugby to come in on board to assist us with the program.
Meanwhile, Scrum managers said the Rugby Union Development Program in Morobe is doing well, except for the country. With funds being a problem, Mr. Tarere urged the government and supporting donors to support the organization with funds. Mary Boy Nigani, National EMTV Sports, Lay.
Sports can be a way for the government in Papua New Guinea to save money. Sports has always been linked to healthy lifestyle choices and encourages discipline in certain sporting codes. Now the Sports Foundation says it can harness these traits and help save money in certain sectors of government spending.
It's no secret that sports keeps a person healthy, focused and of course disciplined for a cause. And sports can also save government money, says PNG Sports Foundation Chief Executive Officer Peter Tsiamalili Jr.
But having said that, sports is probably the only entity that we keep on advising and try to persuade the government that we will help the government save money.
So far, the Sports Foundation has been in talks with relevant government departments and participating in strategizing during workshops, providing key indicators to the medium-term development strategy that sports is a factor in government saving costs in certain sectors of society.
They keep talking about the return on investment. We have been pushing with close consultation with national planning in a few of our workshops that we had in developing our medium-term development goals, in that sports continues to be that differentiating factor that will help this government save money.
Health, especially lifestyle diseases, and law and justice are the two main sectors that the government can save money on. Exercise and focusing on sports as a personal goal can have a positive impact on the population of Papua New Guinea.
We will reduce the health bills. We will reduce the crime bills. We will ensure and encourage kids that are coming back to school and wanting to be educated because of sports.
Tsiamalili says sports locally and globally focuses on bringing together nations in a show of nationalism and is the only venue that brings nations around the world to a common understanding in the spirit of competitiveness.
The only moment in time where you get to see Papua New Guineans united is when you watch the Hunters or the Kumals. We're also an organization that speaks across all nations. It is the very thing that is common in Papua New Guinea and the rest of the world, and that's through the medium of sports.
Fidelis Sukina, National EMTV Sports.
To golf now, Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson are the two most richest and decorated golfers of their generation. They both squared off in a money-spinning tournament in Las Vegas. With a whopping $13 million on the line, some have slammed it as a hyped-up sideshow. For others, though, it was a chance to see the ultimate showdown.
Majors and 123 PGA Tour wins between them, Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson talked a big game coming into this high-stakes Vegas shootout, dubbed The Match.
100,000 that says I birdie the first hole.
So you think you can make birdie on the first hole?
I know I'm going to make birdie on the first hole.
Double it.
But after Hollywood actor Samuel L. Jackson welcomed the pair,
Tiger Woods!
Both players fluffed their lines.
And it never came down.
That hurts the pocket.
With no spectators allowed on the course apart from a select number of friends and sponsors, many were labelling the showdown crass and indulgent.
Dude, seriously, Samuel Jackson just sounds cool.
And even with the charity wagers on the side,
100 if somebody makes it two.
The match failed to catch fire until the 17th hole, with Woods one down and on the verge of defeat.
Look at this! Look at this! No, he didn't.
Like old times, brother.
Mickelson's missed putt squaring things up heading into the 18th.
Oh, no!
But neither player could be separated. Shadow Creek living up to its name as the sun dropped away. So to the makeshift 93-yard hole 20, hitting off the practice putting green just in front of the boxed-up cash. A floodlit chip and putt shootout, with both men missing $13 million putts.
Go, 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 go!
Before the third attempt on the 22nd hole.
And there, at long last.
I'm just trying to calm down right now. My heart can't take much more.
Thrown in for good measure, a winner's belt.
Is it big enough for my waist? No. I thought you were going to win.
Bragging rights to Mickelson and 13 million more reasons to be happy on Thanksgiving.
In basketball, more misery for the Breakers. Their third straight loss, 98 points to 93, against the Perth Wildcats.
Control of this season after two straight losses, the hosts started well against the league leaders.
Weasley. Oh, beautifully.
But soon after, Sean Long found himself in foul trouble.
Plenty of time. Oh my goodness, they tried it again. Sean Long, that's foul number 3.
The Breakers struggling for rhythm as coach Kevin Braswell had to bench most of his starters. And just as Corey Webster finally got in the game with his first bucket, he was then out of it altogether.
Point deficit and the crowd shows some life. That's going to be Corey Webster's 5th foul.
And out of sorts Webster, finishing with more fouls than points.
Real sad sight for Corey Webster.
35 fouls in the game. I don't know in my youth all the way to now. In America, they let you play a little bit harder.
Despite the foul count stacked against the Breakers, they managed to push their arch rivals to overtime, but ultimately fell short on the score sheet and manpower.
And Tom Abercrombie is done. Oh, it's a technical foul call.
In the end, 5 of Braswell's men were fouled out as they crashed to their 3rd straight loss.
They got 34 points from the line. I've never seen this in my life.
Braswell left wondering how his side can even compete after the 35-18 foul count. The Breakers barely able to field 5 players in the dying minutes.
There's no fun in basketball if you're going to constantly do this game after game.
Braswell won't have too much longer to cry foul as they now fly to Perth and take on the table-topping Wildcats again tomorrow.
Chukai Sports will be back with more after these messages. Stay tuned.
Chukai Sports.
Whatever our work may be, sing out strong as far as you can see. Whatever language people are taught, come on, everyone join in. An exciting adventure is about to begin. 'Cause there's one thing we all know, when it's time to get up and go. Sharing stories make the call. Our favorite biscuit, the best of all. M now, BFG.
For nearly 3 decades, the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum has been promoting free trade and development in the Asia-Pacific region. Through APEC, economic output in the Asia-Pacific has more than doubled, helping businesses' growth and employment. Through APEC, we are strengthening our economy, particularly in areas such as small businesses, tourism, agriculture, and information technology. We will continue to grow our economy and create more jobs as we host APEC in 2018.
Join the Awesome 1M team on Mondays at 7 p.m. as they give insights to social issues, development and awareness on health, education, climate change and disasters. From towns and cities to villages around Papua New Guinea. That's Awesome 1M, Mondays 7 p.m. on MTV.
I love the way you taste. I love the easy meal.
I love family dinner time.
I love my true kind.
I love the quality. I love the yummy smell.
I love the energy and strength.
I love my true kind.
So many reasons, all of us agreeing. So put on your t-shirts and let's all sing.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
Let's sing it again.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind.
I love my true kind. P&G's rice, the berry-less rice, the we all love a true kind.
Welcome back to Chukai Sports. In international cricket, Australia's second 2020 against India was abandoned last night after rain stopped play towards the end of the first innings.
60,000 fans at the MCG, the Australians were sent in and lost early wickets before slumping to 6 for 74. Ben McDermott then set about restoring some pride to the Aussie total, scoring an unbeaten 32 off 30 balls, partnering up with Nathan Coulter-Nile. The players left the field due to heavy rain though, and with the hosts on 7 for 132 after 19 overs. They never returned, with Melbourne's bad weather leading to a no result. The final game of the three-match series is on Sunday night in Sydney. Meanwhile, Australia's women cricketers are gearing up for the final of the World T20 tournament against England in the Caribbean. Skipper Meg Lanning will be leading the Australians in their 5th final since the tournament's inception in 2009. She says that the team is ready for tomorrow morning's big game.
We came here to play off in this final. We've given ourselves the opportunity now to win, and coming up against England, always great games, and know it's going to be extremely tough. So the group's really been looking forward to this opportunity for a long time, and we just can't wait to get out there tomorrow night.
Still in cricket back home, the PNG Hebo Barramundis have had a challenging year in all its competitions. Team coach Joe Dawes spoke to EMTV about the team's year in review.
The PNG Barramundis have put up a strong fight in their competitions this year. Some of those competitions included the ICC T20 World Cup qualifier in Fiji, the West Pacific Cup in Hong Kong, and the South China Cup. Coach Dawes says that the team has learnt a lot from the first half of the year and have improved in the second half in terms of their performance.
So we probably played 30 games this year, and I reckon we won 21, 22 of those. So, reasonable year considering the start. But the second half of the year, we played 21 games and we won 18. So the second half of the year is when we've had a chance to implement the things we learnt from the first half, and we're really happy with how that's gone.
The coach has identified individual players in the team who have made progress.
I think Legasiaka's 188 not out here in one of the one-day games against Hong Kong was as good as it gets. Tony Ura's 151 against Ireland in Zimbabwe was a great knock, and at the time the best innings by a PNG batter, and that's obviously been eclipsed now by Legas. We've seen a couple of hundreds in Fiji in 2020 cricket, which is a great effort by Tony again, and also by Asad Valla, the skipper. And then we've seen some really good bowling. But I think just for me the most pleasing part is the overall improvement to the boys and how they've bought into where they want to get to, which is World Cups, and how they've taken on improving for that.
Whilst travelling abroad for matches, the team members have had bonding moments, which has helped to boost their team spirit throughout the year.
The beauty of being around this group is you are laughing all the time. We've got some great characters in Kipling Doriga, and there's a whole bunch of them. They're always laughing and joking, so it's good fun.
Despite having had fulfilling moments this year, the team has had challenges as well. Dawes says that some tough decisions had to be made.
I think any time that you have to drop someone, or we've had a couple of older players that we've moved on this year. That's never nice to do, but we've been lucky enough for one of them now to come on board as a staff member. So I think we did it with as much respect as we could do, and for them to still want to be involved with us and us in a position to give them a job, probably pleased that we handled it the best we could. But it's never nice when you're telling a player that their career is probably over.
Meanwhile, the team is looking forward for the 2019 Pacific Games in Samoa, as well as the T20 in March next year, which will require winners to qualify for the World Cup qualifier in Australia. Elizabeth Guka, National EMTV Sports.
And that ends Chukai Sports. I'll be back with the weather details for the next 24 hours after the break.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Girl Nuggets cheese, chicken, and cheese and onion all just got bigger. A lot bigger. 40% bigger. Look for the new Big Plus 35-gram packs. Bigger packs, better value at the same low price. That's right. 40% more gold nuggets in every pack for you to enjoy.
The FIBA Under-15 Oceania Championship is here in Port Moresby. Come, let's support our very own Team PNG as they face neighbouring rivals Australia, New Zealand, Guam, Tonga, Fiji and Samoa. The championships will be held from the 4th to the 8th of December at the Taurama Aquatic Centre. To purchase your tickets, go to the link. Matches will be streamed live on EMTV Online.
In our harsh and vibrant landscape, Dulux Weather Shield is the perfect choice to protect your building against everything Mother Nature throws at it. Worth doing, worth Dulux.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
A look at the weather forecast in the southern region. Fine weather right across the region in Port Moresby, Daru, Kerema, Alotau and Popondetta. In the Momase region, showers in Lae, Wau and Madang, cloudy in Wewak and Vanimo with a top temperature of 29 degrees. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy in Lorengau, showers in Kavieng and Kimbe, a shower or two in Kokopo and Rabau, and mostly fine in Buka. And in the Highlands region, cloudy right across the region in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundi Awa, and Mendi and Wabeg. Forecasts for small ships for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG-Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerema to Yule Island to Hood Point to Samari Island, and with waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, including waters of Samari Island to Cape Vogel to Finschhafen, with waters of Finschhafen through Vitia Strait and Dampier Strait, including Siasi Islands to Long Island, seas of 0.5 to 1.2 meters. Waters of Long Island to Medang, to Bogia and Wewak, to Aitape, to Vanimo, northern PNG Indonesian border, and with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, including waters of New Ireland to East New Britain and Bougainville, seas of 0.5 to 1 meter. Ocean forecast for PNG areas. In the Coral Sea, seas slight with southwest winds at 10 to 15 knots. In the Solomon Sea, seas slight with northeast to easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas slight to moderate with southwest to west winds at 10 to 20 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas slight to moderate with southwest to west winds at 10 to 20 knots.
The weather details were proudly brought to you by Dulux, celebrating 50 years in PNG and the only paint made in PNG.
And that's the way it is this Saturday, the 24th of November 2018. From the news team right around the country, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods and Paradise Beverages.
It's bedtime.
Brush, 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 2 times a day. Brush, brush, brush to keep cavities away. Brush, 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 2 times
Remember
a day.
to brush your teeth before you go to bed. Good night, kids.
Burns Peak MTV Tower between Hohola 4 and Hanobara. 222 meters above sea level and 80 meters above the hill, the communication coverage is 90% of NCD and beyond. It is an ideal location to operate all your communication services. Supplementing Burns Peak is Enuguini Hill, a 20-meter tower sitting 128 meters above sea level with amazing coverage along Ella Beach, Koki, Badili, Kilakila and Sabama areas. For more information, contact Demasketa on phone 312-9248, 7640-1935 or email dketa@mtv.com.pg.
If you heard of the name Connie Rose, you are not alone. He's a 27-year-old struggling rapper who's adding new titles to his playlist, The Mayor.
So, yeah, it turns out it's super easy to run for local office. Step 1, get 200 signatures. Step 2, don't be a felon. And I don't go to trial till next year. I'm just playing, Ma. I love you.
In the name of Jehovah, why are you doing this?
I know I'm a good rapper, but nobody's ever even heard of me. Just you watch. This campaign is gonna change all of that.
If you want to get discovered, just do it the old-fashioned way. You put your name on a ballot. In this country, that means something. You rap.
Come on, we gotta get you some sleep. It might be your last chance for the next 4 years.
Wait, this job is 4 years?
The Mayor, Sunday, 8:30 p.m. right here on your number one to watch, MTV.
In the wildlife kingdom, animals have learned to live in a variety of different environments. These extraordinary creatures have adapted to magnificent and sometimes violent territories that for a number of species have become their last refuge. Today, however, animals are threatened with extinction throughout the world. To protect, care for and watch over them, defenders of nature have decided to take action in the field. These veritable heroes of the animal world have made it their mission to safeguard fauna wherever necessary. We are going to accompany these men and women to discover the wealth and the mysteries contained in the world's untamed ocean waters, which make up 71% of the Earth's surface, and to meet the fascinating and often surprising animals living in these often fragile natural environments. From Oceania to Latin America, from the Caribbean to Africa and Asia, here is the story of their extraordinary adventures.